The numbers are in, and Democrats are getting wrecked. Republicans didn't just take the lead in the economy, they expanded it. ICE just made the biggest immigration bust in Massachusetts history. And Congressman Jerry Nadler's office, yep, it just got raided. It's not just slipping, it's falling apart. If you're tired of being lied to, you know what to do. Like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the truth the media hopes you'll miss. Let's roll it.
Hurry up.
I would think after all of the waves, Kate Baldwin, after the last few months, the first 5 months of the Donald Trump presidency, right, the first 4 months of the Donald Trump presidency, that you expect that Democrats would have this massive lead on the economy. It ain't so. It ain't so. The party that is closest to your economic views, in November of 2023, it was the Republicans by 11 points. Now it's still within that range, still within that margin of error, plus 8-point advantage for the Republican Party. How is that possible, Democrats? How is that possible after all the recession fears, after the stock market's been doing all of this, after all the tariffs that Americans are against, and Republicans still hold an 8-point lead on the economy? Are you kidding me?
You know it's real when CNN says it out loud. All the screaming about Trump's tariffs, market drops in inflation, and Republicans still hold the advantage. That's not a spin. That's reality knocking. Democrats lost the plot. Now they're losing the trust of the American worker. Biden's economic policies didn't land. They backfired. People aren't dumb. They know when the groceries shrink and the bills grow. Democrats bet everything on media narratives, and Republicans bet on results. Trump delivered real gains, not theoretical wins. And voters are punishing the gaslighting hard. But this isn't just about perception. It's about a deeper credibility collapse.
The poll also asks which party best reflects their view on a range of issues. And when it comes to crime, the economy, immigration, Republicans still hold an advantage, although actually those numbers are starting to slip. How did you think about this poll as you were looking through?
I couldn't help but be reminded about a big problem in my part of the world, the econ part of the world. We can't get a clean read on how consumers feel about the economy because the data has been infected by partisanship, really in an unprecedented manner. So,
meaning your partisanship reflects whether or not you think the economy is good or not?
Do people think the economy is not doing well, or do they just not like who's in the White House? This is a huge problem right now, and it's making it impossible to get that clarity that economists like to see about how consumers are doing. Do they intend to spend? Makes it impossible to forecast.
Translation, and you know we like translations. Democrats have broken trust to the point that economists can't even measure reality. It's not a data issue, it's a leadership crisis. They're acting like Americans imagined empty shelves, soaring interest rates, and dead job growth. Nah, This isn't partisanship, it's pain, and it's personal. You're just imagining the struggle is not a winning message. The White House's arrogance is clouding every metric. When reality becomes political, politicians get replaced. The experts lost trust while defending lies too long. It's not about who's in office. It's about what's in our wallets. So, if voters are rejecting the left's narrative, who are they trusting instead?
Yeah, if it was just this one CNN poll, that would be one thing. But take a look at Reuters Ipsos. What do we see here? Party with a better economic plan. Well, in May of 2024, just before Donald Trump was reelected president, Republicans had a 9-point advantage. Look at where we are now in May of 2025. The advantage actually went up by 3 points. Now Republicans have a 12-point advantage when it comes to the party with a better economic plan. And again, this is after months of supposed economic uncertainty in which the stock market's been going bonkers, in which the tariff wars that Americans are against have been going on. And yet, despite all of that, the Democrats are down by 12 points on the economy. This speaks to Democratic problems on the economy better than basically anything that you could possibly look at. The Republicans still hold an advantage on the all-important key issue of the day, and that is the reason why, even if Donald Trump's approval ratings are a little bit lower than they used to be, Republicans are not out of the ballgame because they still have a clear advantage on the economy, whether you look at CNN's polls or whether you look at the Ipsos poll right here, in which they have a 12-point advantage on the economy.
That's plus 12. after every warning from elites that Trump's policies would crash the market. Turns out, voters would rather vote on strength than be lectured by people who have never ran a business. They told us tariffs were suicide, then watched America start fighting back. Voters are done with theories. They want action that protects them. Trump's trade fights, the people saw courage, not chaos. Democrats made promises. Trump made checks. That plus 12 is a wake-up call, not a fluke. The economy isn't Wall Street, it's kitchen tables. And now, even the middle class is waving goodbye to the Democrats.
It's not clear to the American people that we're fighting for them in their everyday lives. We get stuck in issues partly because I think we can't help it sometimes. And there's an article in the New York Times today that we talked about earlier that has this notion of the moralizing, the kind of patronizing, preachy version of the Democratic Party on all sorts of issues, not just how the government should function, but how you should live your lives. That version of us is not very popular. That's got to change, and we have to get back to basics and talking about what really affects everyday Americans every day. There also needs to be a brand reset in the sense of the candidates that we have, who can communicate effectively, how can they cut through, do they have the confidence to inspire that sort of leadership following ability that they can have in the campaign. That's not been present for a little bit. I think that the opportunity to turn the page in 2028 is there, and by the way, Republicans are going to have to turn the page to some extent as well, because this will be a first election without Trump on the ballot in 12 years for president. It's going to look very different across the board.
Historically speaking, which is the party of the middle class has been a huge advantage for Democrats. I have polling from NBC going all the way back since 1989 when Democrats had a 23-point advantage. 2016, a 17-point advantage. But by this decade, we already started seeing declines back in 2022 where you saw that Democrats led, but only by 4 points, well within the margin of error. And now in our latest CNN poll among registered voters, which is the party of the middle class, it is tied. This, I think, speaks to Democratic ills more than anything else. They have traditionally been the party of the middle class. No more. Donald Trump and the Republican Party have taken that mantle away, and now a key advantage for Democrats historically has gone adios amigos, and now there is no party that is the party of the middle class. Republicans have completely closed the gap.
They didn't just slip, they got replaced. The middle class, the voters that built this country, don't even see themselves in the Democratic Party anymore. And when you prioritize identity politics over paychecks, that's what happens. Trump didn't just take them. Democrats pushed them away. CNN admitting this means they can't hide it anymore. The middle class is done being ignored and taxed into silence. Republicans stopped apologizing and started showing up. They can't be the party of the people if they hate their own values. Democrats didn't lose the middle class. They abandoned them. And now the base is turning hard, especially after what ICE just exposed.
Welcome back. Fox News Alert. You're taking a live look in Boston, where any minute now we are expecting a major news conference in that sanctuary city of Boston, where ICE is going to give an update and announce what turned out to be their biggest immigration operation enforcement ever. It's called Operation Patriot. ICE sources telling Fox News that during the month of May, agents arrested nearly 1,500 illegal aliens throughout the whole state of Massachusetts, some of them in sanctuary jurisdictions which don't cooperate. And listen to this, 790 of those arrested had criminal convictions or charges. 277 had final orders of removal, deportation orders. Last week, I had the chance to exclusively embed with ICE agents while they made some of these arrests. Many of them illegal aliens with very violent, egregious criminal histories, like this Salvadoran man who's on his country's most wanted list with an Interpol Red Notice warrant for aggravated murder and aggravated kidnapping, and another Salvadoran native convicted of child rape. We're told he was deported back in 2017. He snuck back in illegally and was found living right next to a children's playground.
Is that unusual out here?
Not in Massachusetts. It's not unusual. Due to the open border policies, we are finding that plenty of people who have been previously deported and committed heinous crimes and were removed from the country are now back here, just living among us. And now that's our job to go round them up.
One highlight for this operation is the fact that it was successful because we worked with our joint partners in a sanctuary state like Massachusetts, where it's extremely difficult. Where we had Operation Tidal Wave last month in Florida, there was a week-long operation working with our state partners. That's a state that cooperates with us. Here in Massachusetts, we don't have any cooperation from the local departments or from the state, which makes it extremely difficult for ICE to get out there and find these bad guys.
Well, there's certainly a concern that the previous administration allowed way too many terrorists and illegal immigrants into the interior of our country, and that's why the Department of Homeland Security is working overtime to arrest, detain, and deport as many illegal criminals and terrorists that we can in the United States of America, and any act of violence will be prosecuted to the fullest extent.
These weren't dreamers. These were violent felons hiding in plain sight in Democratic sanctuary cities. One guy had an Interpol red notice for murder. Another was convicted of doing very bad things to children, yet living near a playground. And Democrats have the audacity to call ICE bad guys. Sanctuary policies aren't compassionate. They're criminally neglect. Trump wasn't wrong. He was early. ICE is finally cleaning up what Biden's team let fester. The left protects offenders while ignoring victims. This isn't immigration. It's invasion and chaos. The bottom line is the realignment is here and it's not slowing down. The economy, immigration, and crime, every major issue this country has is swinging right, and the Democrats don't have a plan. They're losing working Americans, families, and independents. ICE is doing the work the feds ignored, and Trump's legacy is rising. And now, even blue cities are cracking under the truth. And that's where I want to bring you in. Are you seeing the same economic shift in your community? Should sanctuary cities be stripped of federal funding? How should Republicans build on this momentum heading into 2026? Do you trust the media to report these DHS raids fairly? And what would it take for the Democrats to win back the middle class? Drop your answers in the comments. I read every one of them. Let's make this like a round table, not a monologue. And if this episode lit a fire under you, you already know what to do. Don't let this wave pass you by. Like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a drop they don't want you to see. Thank you. God bless.
Listen.